Our congressional campaign has visited every one of these towns repeatedly throughout the race from January.
Use the mic,
From
Fred.
January until today and up through the end of this race and on for the next years. We visit every single one of these towns every week. Now, I haven't seen everyone here. Most of you have met me at least once. Some of you are meeting us for the first time. Our campaign has 5 primary focus at the federal level. 5. Primarily, number 1 is environment. We live here in the Pine Barrens. We're privileged to have this environment around us. We have the Barnegat Bay, the Pinelands, we have the Delaware River watershed. Right now, parts of our environment are under heavy threat from direct action taken by my opponent. Not going to mention his name, we don't want him showing up. Okay, but across the top portion of our district, they're trying to run a 720 PSI pipeline. Now, I realize that's not real important down here in Stafford.
Yes, it is.
But I will say this to you. If you think they're not going to try to run one down Route 72 next, I got news for you. I've already seen the survey trucks out and made calls on that. So there's an issue coming up with that. We're going to focus on making sure that our federal environmental laws protect the federal reserved lands that are here for all of us. The second thing that we're talking about is Social Security reform. Now, here in Ocean County, that's important. We have a larger senior population than we have in, say, Burlington County. But it's going to be important for the younger folks here, too. We're all paying into this. Well, I shouldn't say we're all paying into it equally. The moment you've earned $118,500 of taxable wages, that's when your obligation stops in contributing to Social Security. That's a hell of a discount for somebody making $10 million. It's certainly not the same percentage for somebody making $30,000 a year, which is the $15 an hour minimum wage for a 40-hour week for 50 weeks a year. 6 years ago, I had the great privilege of meeting a senator from the state of Maine. His name is Angus King. We talked about Social Security, and he was in favor of raising the cap. And at that time, I said, why are we raising the cap? Why don't we remove it? And I said this back here in Barnegat in the beginning of this year. I told everybody I stood against Mr. Sanders' initial proposal of raising the cap to $250,000. And I got a lot of people looking at me sideways until I explained, because I want to take it completely off. Social Security could be 100% solvent tomorrow with the stroke of a pen if we remove that cap. Now, one congressman out of 435 may not have the full voice that you think. But let me tell you something. There's an incoming freshman class. And I'm going to announce something today we've already been working on for several months. We've targeted every single one of the opposition candidates and introduced the concept of a freshman caucus, where we're going to be able to take Republicans and Democrats in Congress and say, guess what, Mr. Ryan? We don't agree. And that's going to give your voice with an incoming freshman congressman working with these folks on a leadership level. That's going to give your voice the ability to be heard in Washington. My job is to listen to you. My job is to take what you want, deliver it to that little box that hangs on the side of the podium on the House of Representatives floor. Okay. Among the other things we're going to work on. How many veterans in the room? Everyone in the veteran, thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, District 3 out of 435 congressional districts has the largest number of serving veterans, service persons and veterans of any district in the United States. We have over 98,000 veterans that live in this district. That's over 75% of who cast a vote in the last election. And if you think we haven't been paying attention, you're wrong. Veterans health care is one of the prime issues, but there's also education benefits and financial benefits. We're also looking at the fact that when we lose a gentleman or a lady in their service, their parents are losing their later caregivers for their later time in life. We don't address survivor benefits for the parents. When we get somebody that's 70 or 80, and they've already laid a heavy sacrifice on the altar of freedom for this nation, we leave them forgotten. I don't want to see that anymore. When Mr. Trump insulted that Gold Star mother, yeah, I was offended. But I was even more offended when you think about the fact that There's no safety net for them. Now, maybe that family's wealthy enough that it doesn't matter. But of all the folks that we've lost in my lifetime and before, how many of their parents are sitting out there and this went off? This went off.
It's on now. You fixed it.
I might have done that, sorry. How many of them are in poverty? Plenty. How many of them don't have a caregiver? All right, we don't have assisted living facilities for these people. That's a mission that we're going to look at very closely. Veterans health care, though, is the primary issue. Anybody here that's been taking advantage of the VA healthcare system will understand what I say when I say the words 40-30. The VA system has a stated goal of 40 miles or 30 days. 40 miles or 30 days. Now, my right hand in this campaign for our veterans issues is a man named Ron Dash, a very decorated veteran from the Vietnam era. He's widely known because he's been a past constable for the Military Order of the Purple Heart for the whole Eastern region. He's my right hand. He's not here today. He's in Delaware at the dentist, because that's where he had to go to see his dentist under the VA. He's in Wilmington, Delaware, from Willingboro. By the way, he lives 2 blocks from a very qualified oral surgeon. Now it's definite. I think I keep hitting the off button. Our intention on healthcare, and this washes not only to VA healthcare, but to our 4th point, which is healthcare. Our intention is to take these 3 bureaucracies we're paying for. Your tax dollars are paying for a Medicare and Medicaid system, our new affordable care system, and we're paying for the VA healthcare system. How many coaches do we need? We have the players on the field. How many